My name is Chad Adams. I'm the principal at Sullivan High School, and I've been the principal here and the leader here for the last 5 years. I think everything that we do starts with relationships. It's the relationships that we build with students, the relationships I build with teachers, the relationships we build with security guards, the police officers, the community members, getting to know one each other so we can learn from each other and grow together. I think that without relationships, nothing happens in a school. And I really pride myself on trying to build relationships with the students and my staff so I can help them to be the best they can be. Well, restorative justice is a big buzzword right now in schools, and we started down this road with a grant of trying to close the school or prison pipeline, and then that sort of starts this pattern of suspension that leads to incarceration and arrest and being ultimately kicked out of a school. We know that suspension is not the way that you should handle discipline. It's a piece of a puzzle. Like if there was a bunch of pieces of a puzzle, we were putting discipline on a wall and we were trying to figure out how to discipline students. It's just one little piece that we have to use at times, but don't always have to use. And restorative justice to me is a way for when people do harm to either a person, a property, or the community, that they repair that harm with the community and they figure out a way to fix that. And that is very natural to everything in life, from the arguments that we have with our wives, to our friends, to our family. If you just give up on your family, then you've given up on love, you've given up on life. And so conflict is natural, and we have to use conflict just like we use lessons in algebra and in English. And we have to use those conflicts to learn from our mistakes and learn that we can't do this to another person or a piece of property or whatever it may be. And we try to learn from it and be better because of it. One of the first things that we did at Sullivan 5 years ago when I started is that literally the first day, I'm a circle keeper and a peace circle keeper, where I've been trained in how to facilitate a circle, and a circle of trust, a circle that creates agreements with adults or students, so we can work and exist to better each and every day. So one of the first things that we did at Sullivan was we had all the teachers in circles, and we had circle keepers leading these circles the first day that they came back, before students came back, and we had them talk about their anxieties, talk about their fears for the school year, talk about the relationships they've had with students, and get that energy going together. And teachers could feel what it felt like to sit in a circle together, to sit with their colleagues together and hear their stories. And stories is, when you start hearing someone's stories, is really where empathy starts, and that caringness for each other and caring for each other as human beings and as colleagues in a school and an environment together. We also created, which I'm very proud of, is some core values. The core values are family, integrity, service, and tenacity. Those core values really came from our teachers. It was the first day that I met the teachers where I asked them, why do you want to be at Sullivan? What is it about Sullivan? And what makes you feel valued? What makes you want to be here every day? And we went through a long list of all these different words and put them all together, and we came out with FIST, family, integrity, service, tenacity. And now we always celebrate those core values. We concentrate on those core values in our teams, in our grade levels, and we teach the students what those core values mean to us, and we hopefully it will mean something to them in the future as well. The biggest thing for me in restorative justice is knowing the story. And everyone here has a story, and all of us have a story, right? And I think a lot of times schools don't take the time to learn people's stories. We had a student a while back that was bringing mace to school. And a natural thing for an administrator to do is she brought in mace and she's going to use it on someone, is to suspend that student. But after you start hearing the story of the young lady, and you find out that she walks by to, for lack of a better word, crack houses on her way to school, and they're always harassing her, and that mace is her form of protection, you start to realize that we don't need to suspend you. We need to make sure you're safe on your way to school, and we need to know that and make sure your family knows that. And that's very true for all types of story. And before you suspend students, hearing the story and knowing what the story is, and so you can really make sure that you're doing and making the right decision. At Sullivan, it's really one of the most diverse places on the planet. We have over 40 languages spoken in the school. We have, I believe, at this point, 7 languages. If I get them right, I think there's 7 languages 30 or more students speak: Swahili, Arabic, Urdu, Nepalese, Spanish, Malay, and Burmese. And that just shows you the diversity of the school. We also have, over 25% of our students that are special education students. And so that's an amazing diversity for a school of like 700 students. And so I have to know the stories, because if I don't know the story, I can't lead this school the right way. And it's important for the students to know my story, and I often tell my story too to students that I grew up in schools and I struggled in schools. I failed a grade. I was a special education student, and I gravitated towards working in groups because I wasn't very good at reading and writing. So I like to work in groups. I like to collaborate, and I was good at sports. So it's important for students to know my story and where I struggled in school, because everyone has challenges that they're facing, and I want to know those challenges so when students do have conflicts, we'll know where they're coming from. Sometimes they get into simplest conflicts, and it's not even something that happened here. It's something that happened at home, or something that happened on their way to class, or something that happened on their way walking to school, or with a family member, and they take it out on someone else, and then before you know it, there's a fight. But they're not really fighting to fight with that person. They're fighting because they're hurting inside. And if you don't know that, if you don't listen for that, and if you don't listen to understand and not to respond, you can get lost sometimes and just think that suspending students is the answer, or not listening to students is the answer. But this is their school. This is Sullivan School, and I'm a servant to them. And I tell the students that this is your school, and I want it to be the best school. And that's why we try to have so many great programs here for the kids, so they can feel like this is their school. And it just makes me super proud every day.